Hello everyone and welcome to Autostop once again. We present to you the all-new 2023 BMW XM trims. In fact, we'll look at the regular model and we'll look at the label red and the possibly rumored blue and black labels up to 735 horsepower, plus the competition and all the details that you need to know. When I say all the details you need to know, I'm talking about the direct competition to the XM. I'm talking about the drivetrain, the powertrain, the external design. I'm talking about the dimensions of this vehicle compared to other M cars. And then also we'll talk about the wheel options, the color options, and availability and pricing options that we have here. Okay, so everything that you need to know about the XM is right here. Don't click on each. Now let me just go ahead and start by saying that we all know that this is the first high-performance BMW M model with an electrified powertrain, and it has more combined horsepower than the formerly top dog, the M5 CS, which was the most powerful M car ever up to today. Now it has been dethroned by the XM. But let me pause here and ask you this question before I go ahead. Are you a fan of the 2023 BMW XM? Is it fast enough and special enough to justify being BMW's first standalone M product over 40 years? Kindly leave your comment below and let us know what you really think about this baby that we've got. Right, so I'm going to go right ahead and touch on the exterior designs, the things that matter on it. I'm sure you spot a lot that I wouldn't, but I'm just going to touch on a few that matters to us, and then we'll go ahead and touch on the powertrain and the others. Now, beginning with the exterior design, and as expected, BMW has actually toned down some of the concept's outlandish style cues. I hope you do agree. So take a good look again. The grille is smaller, but hardly subtle. There is more obvious split headlight design as seen on the X7, right? And check the taillights again. They are much sleeker now and don't extend as deeply into the rear fenders as it used to be on the concept XM when we had a concept, right? Again, as you continue to gaze, let me touch on something else. As with other high performance M models, the grille has horizontal bars within its octagonal contours, and each kidney has an outer border in high gloss black. That color around the outer contour will actually determine the model trims in time, so we'll just touch on that sometime. The inner surround features illuminate. There is also an adaptive LED headlights, which are standard. And again, take a good look. The daytime driving lights are the ultra slim cluster situated higher up there. You see that? Great. Let me come to the direct front of this vehicle. In front are larger than life air intakes. The almost square wheelers dominates the side view if you look at it from the side, and the vertically stacked exhaust outlets, it's something you can't miss. But interestingly, let me touch on the wheels. You get to enjoy 23-inch alloy wheels that are hard to miss. But we believe that the optional 2022s and 2021s would be prettier, just as the 2023, the 23 inches is. Now at the back, come again, take a look. There is a depression on the roof, and BMW logos have been engraved in the rear window itself. That's cool, but BMW says that they are giving you 7 color options available at launch, but more is coming on your way. You are about enjoying 50 more BMW individual shades on the menu, and notably here is the available night gold metallic exterior trim that extends to the accent bands on the sides and the grille borders and the diffuser elements, which makes this one unique. Let me show you this one, how the label red may look like. And this is it. Okay, so the accents may be what differentiates the exterior look of the label red, blue, and possibly the black. Anyway, let me just box on. And at this point, I'm going to touch on size. So in terms of size, the new BMW XM that we are looking at, all glorious, all beautiful, is very close to the X7. But put in mind that the X7 is a dedicated 3-row vehicle, whilst this is a 2-row SUV with so much space in there. The XM actually measures a substantial 201.1 inches in length, which makes it 2.4 inches shorter than the base X7. It doesn't end there. Now, when it comes to the width, it's 78.9 inches wide, which is zero point 0.2 inches wider than the X7. You might not even notice because the figure is really insignificant. About the tallness, 69.1 inches, which makes it 3.1 inches less than the X7. So the X7 still retains its height, and so it is pretty close and spacious. But the XM weighs crazy. It's 6,062 pounds, which is over 500 pounds more than the base X7. Guys, that's a lot. But of course, you put a V8 in there, you put a new hybrid system in there, and that will give you something like that. It will be interesting to see if BMW has been able to manage this heft effectively when driving the XM as an M car should be driven. Okay, so at this point, let me hold on. I'm just going to go right into the powertrain that we have, and it's something. Okay, so at this point, what you're looking at is driven by the most potent hybrid powertrain BMW has ever put in any SUV. Right. This hybrid powertrain consists of 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8 engine that makes 483 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque on its own without the hybrid support. Now, along with the synchronous electric motor integrated into the transmission that contributes 194 horsepower and 207 pound-feet of torque, guys, if you put those combined numbers together, the base XM generates 644 horsepower at 5,400 RPM and 590 pound-feet of torque between 1,600 and 5,000 RPM, guys. That is a lot of power, right? But you do remember that when the concepts came up, we were given 750 horses as expected. Worry not. As the new XM label read, let me show it to you again. Yes, this one is coming with 735 brake horsepower and 735 pound-feet of torque. You're going to get those numbers close. The label red, let me just highlight on it. The label red will be first in a series of the XM label models and will only be available for a limited period of time. Previous reports also suggest that we may be getting a label blue and a label black model in time, but BMW has refused to say anything about it now, so hold that with a pinch of salt. As for the regular XM, BMW claims that 0 to 60 miles per hour time is 4.1 seconds and a top speed limited to 155 miles per hour. You can top that up to 168 miles per hour with the optional M drivers package. And let me go on the pure electric side. You want to hear that? Hold on. Right, so in a pure electric mode, the XM can reach 87 miles on its own. That is nothing to talk about, but relatively good because if you put it to some direct competitors, is okay. So no figures have been claimed for the label red yet, but will update in time. Right, the rest of the mechanical package, let me just brush through it, is made up of an 8-speed M-Steptronic automatic transmission with a drive logic, an adaptive N suspension. It doesn't end there. You also get to enjoy an MX-Drive all-wheel drive system. And regarding the electric motor, BMW takes special mention of a pre-gearing stage that can increase this motor's torque to 332 pound-feet of torque at the transmission input. You know what that does? It gives it more power of a larger unit. And you know the benefits? You get harder acceleration off the line and overtaking on the highway as well. That's great. You want to hear a little bit more about the battery? Yes, hold on, I'm going to tell you. Mounted under the body is a 29.5 kilowatt lithium battery that can be replenished from 0 to 100% in 3.25 hours with AC charging at up to 7.4 kilowatts. Not exactly the best, but remember, the XM is not about that, it's performance. The transmission is another first from the BMW M as it channels both the V8's power and the drive torque from the electric motor to prioritize comfort, efficiency, or power. And to prevent sometimes the jarring switching over to gas in the plug-in hybrid, BMW has used a wet multi-plate suspension clutch that makes these transmissions smoother and seamless. And there is something that is contrasting to the smaller M-Power vehicles or M-Badge vehicles. I'm going to touch about that, but I just want you to take a good look at this car again. Now, contrary to the smaller M cars, the X-Drive system is a rear bias setup that promises sportier handling. However, the XM has a 4-wheel drive default mode. The 4-wheel drive sport mode sends more power to the rear, and the 4-wheel drive sand is a traction optimized setting for driving over dunes. That brings to mind that you are nearly getting 50-50 weight distribution. You also get an electronically controlled differential lock in the rear axle. You get active roll stabilization and standard integral active steering, which is another M car first. And this should help the XM handle better than its weight would suggest. What I'm saying is that there is an active steering that can turn the rear wheel to improve agility at low speeds and cornering at high speeds. Okay, guys, the XM goes up against the rivals. Yes. Okay, so I'll pitch it against its own M-badge vehicles. Then I'll go on to talk about other hybrid competitors. So starting with the M-badge PS, and at 6,062 pounds, it's chunky, guys, right? The XM is supposed to be a halo car for BMW's M lineup, but actually it's lower than many other M-badge cars on sale, including several M Performance, M Pretender cars. Anyway, 0 to 60 mph we have stated is 4.1 seconds, which isn't only slower than the gas-powered XM6 that costs $54,000 less. That does that in 3.8 seconds. It means that the XM is no faster than a $50,000 M240i xDrive coupe. With hybrid rivals, XM gets kicked in the butts again. For example, the Porsche $173,000 Cayenne Turbo SE Hybrid does the job in 3.6 seconds and can reach 183 miles per hour. And then the XM comes standard with 155 miles per hour. That's 250 kilometers per hour. Coughing up for the optional M drivers package only raises it to 168 miles per hour. That's 270. Okay, but on the flip side, while topping up the Porsche's battery via 7.4 kilowatt charger takes only 2 hours to the BMW's 3.25 hours, the Cayenne's pathetic 15-mile EV range makes even the XM look long-legged, guys. So that's how, the competition also, feels like. But I cannot wrap this up without touching on the interior, which is so soothed up, it's so beautiful, it's so luxurious. And so I'm going to touch on it. We've got a high-tech interior for even the blind. Now, moving into the cabin, there is the curved dual layout, iDrive controller and transmission shifter, which are familiar with the new BMWs. Guys, I know you have seen that. But the XM has a unique design. So take a good look again. And what appears to be some of the best materials found inside any BMW. Now, there is carbon fiber seats alongside lashings of pearly-fed chrome. There's also a sculptural headliner in Alcantara. Did you see it? In a standard BMW individual merino leather. You got that too? Right. There is an upper section with upholstery in Naples leather, and even the pillars have Alcantara covering. I'm sure you've seen lots that I haven't mentioned. Keep it to yourself. You can put in the comment section as well. One of the many color choices is the vintage cover full merino leather. You also see fiber optic light guides with 100% LEDs are integrated into the headliner too. So you see that going and coming in. Right, so there's so much you can tell, I'll leave that to you. Yes. So let me wrap this whole thing up with price and availability. And the new XM will likely continue to divide fans in the coming months. But we have seen how the initially shocking M3, M4 twins design has gradually become more tolerable and dawn on people these days. So we expect BMW to sell this car easily. Now, the base MSRP for the XM is $159,000, which excludes $995 destination charge. And as for the limited XM label red, that will start off at $185,000, whereas a regular SM will start production in the fourth quarter of 2022 before an early 2023 launch. The label red will only be revealed after this one and before going into the production in the summer of 2023 and possibly followed with the label blue and black. All labels put together makes the M Performance trade colors, if you haven't noticed. So guys, we are going to update you on the other trims as they fall in place. beginning with the label red, the label blue, and the label black. And so if you would be interested in these trims of the XM, kindly subscribe and put on your notification bell so that the very moment we do, you will be the first to be notified in that space. Thank you so much. Have a great good day until we same time again. Click on my left for more BMWs and click on my right for more luxurious SUVs in this space. Thank you so much once again, and bye-bye.